Welcome back, everyone, to Through Black and White Eyes video, the match review, Fulltyne. I couldn't do it live due to work, but here we are. Just going to quickly review the game for you, and I hope you enjoy and agree with what I say. And if you don't, please drop a comment and tell me what your thoughts were of the game. And even if you don't, if you do agree, please tell me you agree and tell me why you agree. Before we get into the game, though, don't forget we've got this amazing Shea Given signed shirt to give away. I reckon that'll be next month. But on Wednesday, if you remember, you've got a chance of winning a ticket, which is right here, the ticket to go to the Southampton game. So if you want a chance of winning that, it's 99p an entry. There's lots of different options as members. It's a month. And you get to win a prize, potentially win a prize like that. I think it's incredible, to be honest with you. There's not many other channels doing those sort of prizes for that. But there you are. Totally up to yourselves, guys. But let's get into it. The reason why we're here, we're talking about the 5-star performance. 5 in a row now for Newcastle United. 2 away from home in a row. And this, for me, was the hardest fixture in our 3 games that were away from home. And it proved that as well. Winning it 2-1 in the end, not comfortable at all, but we fully deserved the win in my eyes. I thought we were absolutely superb at times, and we're going to go through most of the action with you now. And we've also got a little video as well. But here was the lineup. Very surprised to see ASM not playing. But obviously being on night shift, I woke up and only found out as the game was in play that he wasn't playing. And apparently he might be a couple of weeks. He might be missing. Now, that is such a shame. I know we've talked about ASM in length on this channel about whether he should or shouldn't be sold in the summer. The ASM that we've had in the last 2 games doesn't get sold in the summer. He's been absolutely superb. So he was a big miss today. But stepping in was Joe Linton, obviously filled his suspension. He didn't play last week, came off the bench. And he started today. And Joe Willock, Longstaff and Bruno, the middle 3 and the back 4 pick itself with Nick Pope in goal, don't they? But yeah, first half, I mean, Jesus, we were not at the races. Let's just put it that way. We give away a penalty, which is definitely a penalty. There's no doubt about it. That Sharda had a brilliant game for Brentford, by the way. He absolutely terrorised Dan Burn with pace, direct running. He got round him countless times. He found himself in pockets of space a lot in that first half. Even in the second half, he actually did really well. He was their bright spark for me. When he got into the box, he had a heavy touch, and Botman thought he could get over and clear it, and he literally took the kitchen sink with him. He missed the ball completely, took Sharda out, and it was definitely a penalty. Which then brings this brilliantly timed photograph on Ivan Toney while the advertisement while I was watching the game was Betway, the betting company. Couldn't have timed that any better. Well done, the broadcasters, for that. Absolutely perfect. Couldn't have done it better myself, to be honest with you. But yeah, so Ivan Toney puts the ball on the spot, goes to Nick Pope's right. Nick Pope's reads him. It's a poor penalty, really. I think he's hoping to send the keeper the wrong way, and he hasn't. And he's comfortably smothered it. And you would have thought that would be the wake-up call, you know. Jesus, we're just giving away a penalty. We could be 1-0 down. Let's get our heads in the game. And it wasn't. And, I mean, the second penalty, it is soft. I mean, but go to clear it. And, yes, he doesn't get the ball, but the defender is come round his blind side and he's ran into his foot, and it makes it look bad. And I've seen them give him, but for high foot, now bearing in mind, that's not a penalty on the left, that's not a penalty on the right, right? So that was Bruno Fernandes against Shaw recently, and that was Sean Longstaff against Burnley, I believe it was, or West Ham, one or two, I can't quite remember, but it was, you know, both. Look how high the feet are, right up at the head. Should be a penalty. If this is a penalty, that's what they give it for. I mean, the foot is waist high, He's hardly touched them, and they've given it for high foot. That is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And there was a bit of arguing and barging in the penalty area. Their captain's done what Trippier did. Everyone's going to start doing this now, taking the ball, standing on the spot, waiting for it all to clear. Gives the ball to Tony. And it looks like Pope's dived early because he's gone past the ball and Tony's slotted it home in the same corner that he went. Pope read him well. He just couldn't get his hands to it, unfortunately. So they go 1-0 up. And deservedly so, to be honest with you. They completely bossed the first half. We weren't at the races, which becomes the Eddie Howe masterclass now, doesn't it, at half time? He drags off Sean Longstaff and Murphy. He brings on Callum Wilson up front, which was, and Anthony Gordon on the right wing. So we've basically got a new front three, but he actually played a 4-4-2. And Isak dropped into a 4-5-1 at times. But it was a masterclass because we were all over Brentford in that second half. Absolutely all over them for the first 20 minutes. And we almost ran away with the game. The first goal, though, there from Joe Linton, and unfortunately he's not been credited. It's been credited as an own goal. He absolutely puts Ben Mee on his backside in the box brilliantly. Runs to the bar line almost, and he's almost level with the post when he's crossing it, and he crosses it looking for his man in the middle. It's hit Reyes there inside heel on his right foot, and it's ended up in the back of the net, and it's no more than we deserved. I thought Anthony Gordon was superb when he came on. Wilson was superb when they came on. They changed the game. They really did. That formation changed, the personnel changed. It absolutely worked, and the game was at 1-1. And then literally not much long later, this happened. Should we see it again? Why not? Love a bit of fan footage. And that was Isak's goal. Superbly done. Again, Gordon involved. Gets the ball into Wilson. Wilson on the right-hand side takes on one player on the edge of the box. Just kindly passes it. A bit like Miggy to Willock against Chelsea. But this time Wilson to Isak. Isak fully obliges and smashes it, curls it beautifully into the top corner. No chance for the Brentford goalkeeper. 2-1 up. What a turnaround. Absolute turnaround. And it was almost three-star turnaround as from a corner, ball gets played in. And they've given it as handball, and it's so harsh. It's hit Wilson very high up the arm. Very high up the arm. He's not gone to handball it. It's just hit him. It's landed at his feet, and he slotted it home to make it 3-1. Everyone's going nuts. VAR interferes because it's hit his arm and it's dropped at his feet. They've classed that as gaining an advantage, and they've ruled it out. Personally, I hate that rule because if it hits a defender's arm like that, it's not a penalty. So why is the benefit of the doubt to the striker as it's hit his arm, it's down by his side, it's natural position, there's nothing he can do to get out of the way. Why is that a free kick? I just don't get it. The rules are stupid at times, as we all know. But yeah, so back to 2-1. And then it got a little bit nervy. Sharda was getting back into the game again. Brentford made some changes. Ivan Toney was finding space out on the left wing. Very shrewd player doing that, coming out to the left-hand side, giving Trippier a nightmare. And he almost scored. This is the Nick Pope save. Doesn't look fantastic there, but it was. I mean, Ivan Toney's headed it from literally 6 yards out. It looks like it's going to nestle in the corner. And Nick Pope has managed to parry it out sideways as well. I've always said this about goalkeepers. If you're going to save the ball in the box, you cannot parry it back into the box, like straight ahead, because you're asking for trouble. He's done the right thing. He knows he can't catch it. He's parried it out sideways. There's a Brentford player charging in, but because he's parried it so hard outwards, he hasn't been able to get any contact on it, and it stays 2-1. And then again, Toney in the last minute gets another header, just shaves over the crossbar, and we hang on for the win. And an absolute fantastic win as well it was. I mean, like I said, I thought this was the hardest game on paper for us, going to Brentford. To put the game into perspective, we're the second team this season, the first team this year to win at Brentford. The other team, September, Arsenal. We are also, a lovely stat from someone on Twitter who sent me, we're the only team to have a 100% record at the new stadium. So 2 years at the stadium in the Premier League, 2 wins for us in a row at their ground. So it's nice to have those kind of omens, isn't it? It's nice to be able to talk about them, especially when it comes to London. And again, another stat, apparently we're undefeated in London in this season, which is just crazy, because London used to be, if anyone can remember way back, we used to never win in London. So it's a nice turnaround of events. But 5 wins in a row, guys. 5 wins in a row is superb. Here's the photograph, which is literally owning every single Man United fan at the moment. Oh, look at them celebrating like it's a cup win. We've been doing this since Eddie Howe took over, and now they're commenting on it because they're rattled, guys. Absolutely rattled that we're going to finish 3rd. A few standout things in the picture. And it's the only one really in it. You zoom in on it. You've got to zoom in on it to make sure it's actually definitely not his Roger out. But Dan Burn in the middle there looks like he's got an absolute stonk on, doesn't it? Funny as anything. I love these photographs just for that as well. It's like going to Fenix window and trying to find the naughty things in the display, which aren't meant to be there, and people wouldn't have realized that they were put there. So there you go. So man of the match for me, and he fully deserves it, even though he flapped a few times on Saturday when he came to collect a few crosses. It wasn't great, but Nick Pope for me, fantastic performance. 5 saves from inside the box, 4. That's incredible. That I remember 4 saves from inside the box. Saved a penalty, punched 1. He had 1 run out successful. He took 3 high claims. And long balls, 5 out of 17, which is always going to happen. He made 2 clearances as well. Don't forget, he ran out and made 2 clearances in a block, which was fantastic. Nick Pope deserves the Man of the Match award. Second would be Joe Linton. The way he took the game by the scruff of the neck in the second half and really forced us up the pitch and controlled that midfield with Bruno. Fantastic. And he obviously forced the first goal. But because of the first half performance, and also how the important saves and claims and catches and punches he made in the second half, Nick Pope just shades it for me. Who was your man of the match? Please drop a comment below and let me know. I'd love to hear everyone's opinion. Now, the end of the game was obviously married a little bit with the Gordon situation. Obviously, Gordon was subbed on at half-time, and then he was subbed off for the last kick of the game. He had a bit of a petulant, didn't want to shake Eddie Howe's hand, don't know why. I mean, he's obviously very disappointed. No player likes to be subbed on then subbed off, but it was the last kick of the game. Eddie Howe was just doing it just to waste time, and he threw on Richie for Gordon. Eddie Howe will deal with this in-house. I don't think it's anything to read into. I think Eddie Howe will be a little bit happy that the players come off a little bit angry, because no player likes to be subbed, especially when he was playing as well as he did. Could have had an assist, or assist to an assist is what we call it, when he broke down the right at the end, played it to Wilson, who played it to Anderson, who then had a weak shot. But he had a brilliant 45 minutes for me. But it puts a little bit of a dark shadow over that performance because of the way that he reacted. Hopefully we don't see that in the future, and Eddie Howe will have a word with him, and I'm sure it'll all be sorted. I don't think we need to make a mountain out of a molehill on this one. I think it's just a frustrated player who subbed on, subbed off, and you like to see that sometimes, but he's got to learn to know when to show his frustration and how to show his frustration. You can't disrespect your manager. So it'll be dealt with, and that's the end of it for me. He's still going to be a big player for us until the end of the season. So yeah, Anthony Gordon, great second half. Now, Keith Hackett, hopefully we'll have him on the channel soon to discuss these decisions and why it's actually happening in VAR in itself. I have emailed him with some times, and I'll let you know when that will be. But this was his tweet. The penalty kick awarded against Newcastle United by ref in the match versus Brentford was shocking. How can two elite referees deliver such a poor decision? Howard Webb should bench them for a couple of weeks. Do they receive some operational advice? Not good enough. This is what I was saying. Like I said, there was the other two decisions that gone against us, especially Bruno Fernandes, how high his foot was. And then to give that as a penalty after looking at it for so long, disgraceful, to be fair. VAR and referees had an absolute shocker this weekend, though. It wasn't just our game. Brighton feel massively aggrieved against Spurs, and I don't blame them as well, which we will talk about on Tuesday night in the Premier League review. So we are all doing well and contributing. I'm happy to be part of this. Every game is important. We know it will not be easy, but we're in good form and we need to keep going. Alexander Isak talking about how he's loving life on Tyneside, really. There's more. Alexander Isak has praised Eddie Howe in-game management. We talked about looking forward and leaving the first half behind. We all knew it wasn't good enough. He made 2 good substitutions, Callum Wilson and Anthony Gordon, give us good energy and change the game for us. It was important for the team and for me, the goal. I felt I had not come into the game yet. Callum Wilson came in good and it was unselfish of him and a good finish for me. We are all doing well and contributing in about. So like I mentioned, the 2 substitutes and the masterclass at Eddie Howe at half-time. Forget about the first half, it's gone. Can't do anything about it, can't change that first half outcome. But what we can do is change the second half, get back into our rhythm, change the game by making substitutes, going to 4-4-2, 4-5-1 when we didn't have the ball because Isak dropped back a bit. Superb. And Eddie Howe is the man to take us forward for a long time. As long as he keeps on improving and the team keeps playing good football and we keep winning football matches, trophies are going to come. Might take a couple of years, but I'm telling you, what I saw yesterday proved to me that Eddie Howe is got the minerals. He really has. And everyone needs to stand up and realise that. I know there's only a small section of people who think Eddie Howe, should be replaced by a top-class manager in the future. I don't. I honestly don't, because he's learning, adapting, he's changing things all the time, and that's what you need. You need a manager who's willing to know when something's not working and change it up like he did. So congratulations to Eddie Howe. He could potentially get man of the match for those substitutions because that completely changed the game, couldn't it? He was just superb. Fans were amazing as always, full voice. They must be loving life as away fans at the moment. I'm so jealous I can't go to away games. So hard to get tickets. But absolutely amazing. Well done, lads. Keep it going till the end of the season because those players need that support, especially on Saturday. They definitely needed that support. Before we take a look at the league table, just please consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting the thumbs up on the video. There's a super thanks if you would like to donate to the channel. That would be absolutely incredible. And thank you to everyone who's a member. This really helps to keep the channel running with the costs. So you've no idea. So thank you so much. If anyone wants to be a member, 99p, and then there's a few other options, and you get entered into a prize draw. And this is one of the prizes we're going to be giving away very soon. Shea Given, signed goalkeeper top. By the way, Shea Given was absolutely fantastic. I did do an interview with him. My technology let me down because there was no frigging sound on it. Absolutely wounded. But some of the stories he came out, he told us, down-to-earth guy, didn't dodge any questions, had time for everyone. Absolute superb gentleman. Absolutely. What a night it was. Well, Benfield FC, Newcastle Benfield, go down and watch them, guys, when you get a chance. They're a great family-run football club. They put on some great nights. And they've got a great stadium for the league that they're in. So please go down and support them when you can. Anyway, right, here's the league table. Sitting third now, 56 points, level with Man United. Tottenham getting that, dubious win against Brighton. Really keeps the pressure on us. Our game in hand is against Brighton. We really need to get that rearranged and then fix it. But look at Villa, up to 6 now. Now, I know everyone said Villa's going to be the hardest fixture out of the 3 away games. I don't. And I'll tell you why on Friday night, why I thought Brentford was the hardest fixture and why Villa, even though they're in great form, I still fancy us to beat them. I really do. But I hope you've enjoyed the show. Please drop a comment below, hit the thumbs up button and let me know what you think. And then let's bring on Villa on Saturday. I can't wait. We'll be back Monday night. We're going to look at all the players that we could potentially target if the teams go down. we're going to be looking at 6, 7 teams. I think 9 teams actually potentially still could go down. Wednesday night off. Tuesday night, we've got the Premier League review. Thursday, I think I might throw something in there. And Friday, we're going to do the look ahead. So there's lots to keep an eye on the channel. So hit that notification button so you know when we're live. Thank you very much for watching as always and supporting the channel. And I will see you again very soon.